Hello, Libra, and welcome to your monthly outlook for July 2024. We're going to get right into cutting your deck. I've already been shuffling off camera. This is Bow and Arrow Tarot. And thank you so much for joining me. This reading may resonate for you if you have Libra anywhere in your natal chart. So let's get right into it. Seven of Pentacles, failure. Oof. Alrighty. Five of Swords, defeat. Valor, Seven of Wands. And 10 of Pentacles, success and wealth. So starts off a little bit shadowy, right? And ends up very, very strong. So these are the four major energies, Libra, that we're going to be looking at for your month of July and how these energies are going to factor into your life if you resonate with this reading. So let's just start to shuffle your tarot as I begin to go through some of these cards here. Seven of Pentacles, failure. Yes, it can indeed be failure. Saturn in Taurus energy, but more than anything, Seven of Pentacles is a time in your life where you're taking stock and you're reviewing a lot of your hard work. Oftentimes, fear of failure or fear of not having reached your mark or not having reached your goal is the reason why you're taking stock in the first place, correct? So it may not indeed be actual failure, but it could very well be the feeling or perception of failure. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into that one. Let's cut your deck. Because as we go ahead, we do see some defeat here. But again, defeat with that Five of Swords is a breakthrough in a lot of ways. But we'll get there. Let's start with this Seven of Pentacles. We have an Ace of Swords coming in. A Three of Swords. So there's your betrayal. And there's your Ten of Pentacles again. So somewhere along the line, Libra, some of you have had to take stock in your life, right? So the actual conditions of your life, how you're living your life, the work that you're doing, the things that you're actively engaged in, you've had to take stock of that in light of a recent betrayal, right? Ace of Swords comes in with that Three of Swords. Three of Swords is heartache, all that pain, sorrow. Three of Swords is associated with someone who's deceived you, who's lied to you, who's hurt your heart, who's, used dark communication with you, right? But that Ace of Swords comes in, Libra. So in July, a clarity cuts through. So for some of you, you find out about this betrayal. You become aware of it in July. You perhaps, or at least you're getting some clarity on it. And ultimately, though, that failure, that Seven of Pentacles, there is definitely a feeling here that you're saying to yourself, hang on a second, let me reevaluate my money and how I've been living and how I've been surviving. These two cards came out. I'm going to take them. Eight of Wands and Four of Wands, right? So a lot of communication. I think what ends up happening, Libra, listen, you find out that one of the reasons perhaps you are not as far as you wanted to be right now is because of the person you're with or because of betrayal, right? Because somebody has stabbed you in the back. Four of Wands energy. This may not necessarily be a lover. I know oftentimes Three of Swords is associated with, in tarot readings, with third-party energy or a fight between lovers. But it's a Swords card at the end of the day. So it's more to do with betrayal and deception, and it hurts. Of course, it hurts very deeply. But this could just be something to do with your work or people that you are close to in your job, right? Because this clarity comes in for you, Libra. You realize the betrayal, and then you come in with this beautiful Ten of Pentacles. You resonate up right away. So it's almost as if July is a month where you're going to be finding out what's been holding you back. You know what I mean? Let's get a little bit of clarity here. You're going to be finding out what exactly has been holding you back. And yeah, it's going to hurt because it will indeed involve some kind of betrayal or deception, but it's going to free you up to like catapult forward. Eight of Wands comes in. It's Mercury and Sagittarius energy. So very clear communication, right? Suddenly comes in. I want to say it almost feels as though where there were blockages before, things weren't working out, you weren't able to get a good read of where you were at. Surrounding this darkness here and this pain, surrounding it is nothing but support, clarity, communication, support. Four of Wands. I want to get some clarity on that Four of Wands. Why is that there? Because Four of Wands is a meeting of the minds, and Justice and Five of Wands has come in. Right. Okay, so for some of you, Libra, Justice has come in with that five. Five of Wands is competitive fire. You know, people competing, justice coming in, justice is karma being served, things being rebalanced. I'm going to say, Libra, it feels very strongly to me. Let's put those here. It feels very strongly to me like someone else is coming in for you in July that that has your back. You know what I mean? That is like a really good match for you, a supportive match. You two come together in a possible soulmate or love connection. And it's like right at the same time that you're finding out some bitter news about somebody you're already with. And it's interesting because I don't feel a whole hell of a lot of like deep, deep love commitment energy here. It just feels like these are two connections. They may be romantic connections. One of them definitely is. I think this recent one, the new one that's coming in with that Four of Wands, is definitely one that is at least going to develop into a romantic connection if it hasn't started this way. But they're coming in at a time exactly when you're finding out that somebody close to you has really betrayed you. And it's like, as I said, karma comes in and you're like released and you catapult forward, right? You catapult forward with your energy. It's like a huge blockage is lifted, Libra. It's like a huge block is lifted from like your path. It feels like, whatever gloom or whatever sort of, I'm going to say, because failure, the feeling of like nothing going right, nothing really working towards what you wanted. You've planted seeds, they're not growing, you're not able to harvest anything. All of that, it's like it just disappears. When you find out this information, when this clarity, this understanding comes in and this new person comes in, and it's like, boom, it all disappears or it goes away, it gets dealt with. It's not that it disappears, but it gets dealt with in a very karmic way. Let's move on. Five of Swords, defeat. So this card is, yes, it's the card for defeat, but defeat in a sense of a breakthrough. So fives are always, associated with strife and turmoil and battling, and being at odds in the tarot. But it's exactly at that point that you have breakthroughs. And defeat here kind of it's kind of the acceptance that, not so much defeat, but accepting kind of defeat for the sake of not fighting anymore. You realize, this energy here is a breakthrough because you realize the fight is the point. Like if you just don't engage in a fight and you just, okay, yeah, you beat me, whatever. You know what I mean? You accept defeat, but you accept defeat for a higher ground, which is not to be in the muck with somebody in the first place, arguing, fighting, squabbling. So we have King of Swords coming in, Four of Swords, that's you pulling away, and there is your lovers. Wow. So King of Swords comes in and you like stand your ground in a particular area. Swords is air energy, Libra. So you are coming into your really healthy air energy here. You definitely give up a fight. This here, listen, I'm going to be doing an extended reading. Of course, I'm starting to do extended readings for most of my videos now, but do check out the link in the top of the description for that. I definitely am going to be looking at this situation over here. What is going on specifically over here? We're going to go deeper into this because it feels very much like you give up this fight here, but you do also stand your ground in a way and you pull back. Four of Swords and Lovers, you pull back for the sake of something else that's more important. And it almost feels like what's more important is a new lover's energy coming in, right? This connection that has already kind of started over here. So yeah, you take some time off, you pull back, Libra, you don't engage in the bickering and squabbling and fighting. You know, you've given up, as I said, you've pulled back, but now you're also planning your next move. You're really in your head with that King of Libras, King of Swords, excuse me, King of Libras. You're really in your head with that King of Swords. You're really thinking a lot, planning a lot in a good way, in a very healthy way. But it's like you're trying to move forward. Again, some of you have really been held back for a while. It's almost like you feel like you lost time. There's Wheel of Fortune coming in and a Page of Cups. So there's your curiosity about this love connection. And the universal clock, Wheel of Fortune, has been showing up an awful lot lately for the July readings. I mean, I'm only on the third reading, but it has shown up for every single reading. So Wheel of Fortune, the divine clock is at play here. Events are coming in, Libra, that are, you know, they are going to make you feel like you're on your fated path. It's going to make you really, you know, when a Wheel of Fortune turns for you, it just feels like you're in sync with life, and it feels like things are happening in a way that they're supposed to. You may be feeling very, very lucky, right? But it's not even so much luck. Star energy flipped over. It's not even so much luck. It's just that the universe and you are in sync. You're in sync with where you should be, right? You're in sync with your own timing and how your timing fits in with the timing of the universe, right? And so that turns, events happen, things come in that really help you along your path, especially for those of you who have a desire in love, who have a desire, that star energy. It's like you're really connecting with your spiritual joy and your spiritual wish for yourself. You're connecting with what you want on a spiritual level, and you're bringing it down to the ground. And a lot of people, um, a lot of you Libras, excuse me, not a lot of people, but a lot of you Libras are right now uh, interacting with people in your life who are becoming love connections. Four of Wands lovers. You're drawing in, you know what I mean? You're drawing in the right partner. A lot of this has to do with this blockage release right here. That Three of Swords was a blockage. Because Ten of Pentacles right behind it, and same over here. Wealth is about to really come in. It's almost as if it feels like you almost were like, am I crazy? I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. I really should have more money than this. And it's like, damn, it's because that somebody was really, really doing some shicey stuff. We're gonna find out, like I said, in the extended. I can't wait to do it, but I'm curious what was going on there. For some of you, I do feel it was like really dirty business dealings with like a friend you may have had a business with. In any case, as we move forward, we come to Valor, and there's Empress. Valor, Mars and Leo energy. Empress comes in, and the Ten of Cups and the Six of Pentacles. So where we start off with kind of, you know, some failure and defeat, it felt really like heavy, right? It was a breakthrough. It's a breakthrough moment because we just continue, Libra, to move forward with this beautiful, strong energy. Valor. Seven of Wands is all about standing your ground. Everything is working together now, right? All of your energies are working together in sync. You're not sabotaging yourself. You're not at odds with yourself. You're sort of working in a unified, focused way. Empress energy comes in. Ten of Cups and Six of Pentacles. So this happiness, this line of pure joy and happiness with that Wheel of Fortune and Lovers. Some of you are meeting perhaps your divine feminine partner, or you may be the divine feminine in this connection. In any case, you and your person are about to, you know, embark on, I want to say, a journey that invites a lot of growth and birth. Some of you, I feel birth here. Children, grandchildren. Okay, sometimes it doesn't have to be your own children. Listen, I'm of a certain age. I'm talking about connection. It could be that you're meeting with somebody and you begin to blend families and you begin to have more life in your life, more children in your life, even if they are grandchildren or great grandchildren. Life is life. It doesn't always have to be your direct children. In any case, there's a feeling of nurturing here, family. I feel family. I feel happiness. I feel sharing. I feel abundance here with that Six of Pentacles. Let's go further. Yeah, it's like, oh my gosh, it's like this break here. Just, it's like a watershed. Tower comes in. Damn. And a Three of Wands. So tower moment, shocking moment, more news to come. Some of you, that tower moment may indeed be finding out you're pregnant, or finding out somebody's going to have a baby, or finding out something incredible like that, but something beautiful, because it's right in line with that love world card, and Ten of Cups love world card, and Lover's energy. So tower moment coming, a shocking moment. But I think in this regard, Libra, it's an exciting, shocking moment, a happy, shocking moment. And more information needs to come in. For some of you, you are ready, waiting for more information. Let me pull a few clarifiers here just to see. It feels like, yeah, an impending message, a good message, a positive message coming, a message you've been waiting for some time, a shocking message in a lot of ways, very shocking, but welcome. Knight of Wands, the message comes in fast and hard. Somebody is really trying to get something to you. There is something going on in your life, Libra, that involves, I feel like, negotiations, or involves some kind of understanding, but there's information you're waiting on that is really, 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 really good news. And you can't wait for it, but you're waiting for it, and it will indeed come in. Let's move further. Ten of Pentacles. Nice reading, Libra. Definitely some of you are like, just, I hear that song, busting loose, you know. Eight of Pentacles, working, but working in a happy way. Temperance energy. Some of you dealing with a Sagittarius. There's your Five of Swords again. Continuing, Libra, to be reminded of not getting pulled in to, you know, toxic behavior. Especially when you're working and you're trying to work towards something important. Be careful, because people will bring stuff. They will bring the energy of fighting and squabbling to you for the sake of it, to distract you. Okay, I feel that here. So watch out. Some of you definitely have people who are a little bit, you know, they may be jealous of you or your success. They may indeed be this individual over here that you've dealt with, seeing that you're doing well on your own, seeing that, you know, seeing that things are looking good for you, even though they may have really made a concerted effort to break you down, but you're doing well. And sure enough, here they come again. You know what I mean? But again, I'm going to take a look at that later on. Temperance energy. Some of you, as I said, may be dealing with Sagittarius. I'm going to pull the Zodiac rune soon too. But yeah, the work comes in. It's like, as soon as this news as well, for some of you, as soon as this good news comes in, this amazing, shocking good news, you really get to work, right? Because you have to prepare. So you're getting to work. You're doing more work. You know, it's kind of interesting, because it's like, you love it. Libra, you love the work. You love, because now there's a purpose here that makes you happy. Four of Pentacles, right? Okay. Maintaining your dominance. And there's the Two of Cups. Maintaining your stability and your, you know, Four of Pentacles is all about maintaining your stability, protecting what you've built. Right. Be careful with that. Not being be careful about being overly protective, right? Overly bearing, overly protective about a particular situation. But yeah, you know, and the Two of Cups there, Two of Cups with that Ten of Pentacles, happiness, joy, abundance. This is definitely a month. July is a month. Libra. For the Libras who are in my collective, come to this reading, resonate with this reading, this is going to be a month where a very huge blockage in your personal and your career life is dissolved or dealt with in some way. For some of you, it's going to be dissolved or dealt with through the courts, through mediation, through agreement, through officialdom, through official means, right? That's going to happen. But after that, it's like you have a huge release. You find it's almost as if the fog has been lifted and you see yourself for where you really are. You see your business, your wealth, your money, your success, everything begins to come in a correct fashion, right? Before, it's almost as if it kept coming up against the wall. And that was because you were dealing with somebody in your life who was lying to you. Let's go ahead and get into your zodiac runes to see what kind of signs you might be dealing with. We have right away a Taurus, right? Some of you are dealing with. Move my little angel over a little bit. Taurus. Some of you are dealing with a Leo. Yep. A Leo. All right, and one more zodiac. Let's see who else my Libras might be dealing with. And you may be having these, and some of you are dealing with another Libra. All right, so Libra, Taurus, Leo energy, maybe in your chart, maybe dealing with a fellow Libran. Let's go ahead and get into your oracle cards. We're going to pull some oracles and some animal spirits, and then this is going to be the reading for you. What flipped over? Limits. Yeah, you kept coming up against the wall. You kept coming up against these limits, and I think this has been happening for a while. It's like every time you tried to get ahead, especially with working or your business or what have you, your money, it's just like, boom, you came up against the wall. Support, and one more. Blessings. Yeah, and this is what I'm going to be looking at in the extended. Is like, is this person a lover connection? Were they a friend? What was going on here? Because yeah, you do have your Four of Wands. You have your love connection coming in, but you know, it feels like a business lover scenario where your lover kind of stabbed you in the back and did some shicey stuff with you, also business wise, love wise, perhaps. But I'm not entirely sure, and I didn't want to take this reading over with this energy. I want to look at what this is doing a little bit deeper. But support has come in, and I think support comes in with your new person, and of course, blessings. Because as I said, you have 10 of Pentacles coming in twice in this reading. That indicates huge amount of blessing. Very secure financially. Wealthy, and not just like, oh, I'm wealthy because I have a good heart. No, wealthy because you have paper in the bank, like wealthy, physically wealthy. Yes, you're wealthy because you're good and all that, and you try to do the good thing by people, but let me turn this light down a little bit, starting to get bright in here. But wealthy also in as much as actual funds, cashola, the ability to pay bills, go on vacation, do something. Earthworm and the moth. Okay, so your animal spirits. Interesting. Earth and air energy. The earthworm is the novice. This is the beginner, the newbie, the one who has a lot to learn. Scared, insecure, unsure, unsure of himself. But the earthworm, remember, everyone starts somewhere. You have to begin somewhere. You want to be a master at something, you have to be a beginner at it first. And so this is just a reminder that not to take heart, not to hide, not to go back underground, but to, come on out and begin this journey. Moth energy is air energy. We know about moths, right? They fly right into the fire. They like shiny stuff. They flutter around from here to there. They have very fleeting interest, air energy associated with the mental plane. Very fleeting, very sort of inconstant, oftentimes self-sabotaging, oftentimes, going for exactly what it doesn't need in its life that's going to burn it up. Watch out. The moth is careless and reckless and doesn't have a lot, is not engaging with a lot of foresight, you know what I mean, or caution, right? So take care with that. All right, guys, I am going to leave it at that. This was your July reading, Libra, your July outcome. If you want to go further with me, if you want to do a deep dive into this scenario here, and of course, maybe some of this abundance will come up as well, go ahead and follow that link at the top of the description to the extended reading. All right, guys. That's it. I am going to wish you all love, life, and happiness. Thank you so much for joining me here for this Libra July Tarot Outlook. Please do check my channel out for the weekly love readings that I upload, of course, every week. And if you resonated with any of this, go ahead and hit the like button or consider subscribing to my channel. All of that really, really helps me out, and I do appreciate when you do that. So for right now, guys, I just wish you love, life, and happiness, and I hope to see you at the next reading. Bye-bye now.